Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to warn him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, ChiefsKingdom? You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 218. Coming off of a disappointing, frustrating loss in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. We got a lot to discuss. I know everybody's, feeling a little sour over the loss, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to talk y'all through this loss and get y'all ready, amped up for the off season, and what Brett Veach has got to do. He's got some moves he's got to make, some things he's got to figure out. But we have faith in him. But Mark, what's going on, man?
Chilling, still business as usual. I mean, gotta take the wins, the losses with the wins. It happens. We on to the next season. One way or the other, the season was going to end. Not the story big ending, but hey, life goes on here with the Arrowhead Chief Podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Would have loved to get the three-peat, but we didn't get it. But like Mark said, life goes on. But let's talk about it, man. The Chiefs lose 40-22. Patrick Mahomes was 21-32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, but those came in kind of garbage time. Xavier Worthy actually had a really good game. He had 8 catches, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was the only bright spot and on the offense. From the gun, the Philly defensive line just beat us up. There's no breakdown or these X's and O's and they did some trickery on us. No, they just lined up and said our defensive line is better than your offensive line. You have Joe Tooney, who's a left guard, playing left tackle, and we're going to expose him. Mike Caliendo is a backup. We're going to expose him. But not only that, it was a trickle-down effect to Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, and Jawan Taylor. And once they got punched in the mouth, the Kansas City Chiefs did not have an answer, or they refused to give them an answer. They refused to run the football. They had 7 run attempts between Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, and Samaje Perine. And Samaje Perine's one rush came in the fourth quarter when the game was over, pretty much. Patrick Mahomes, he should get most of this blame too. He did not have a great game at all. He did not look good. He looked rattled. As soon as he started getting hit, he started making bad decisions. He was dirting some balls. His weapons were not getting open. Travis Kelce, he dropped, even though some of those balls were bad that were thrown to him. He dropped a few of them. He was not getting open. DeAndre Hopkins, he dropped a wide open pass that was thrown to him that probably could at least gave him some momentum going into the half. He dropped that. It was just bad all around on the offense. Now, the defense actually played pretty well. Outside of a few throws that, and especially in the first half, outside of the Jahan Dotson throw, which was just a good throw, and, Jalen Watson just kind of got, and that's just going to happen. And so did Trent McDuffie. He got on a catch from A.J. Brown on the sideline. He was right there in good coverage. It just, it was just a good thrown ball. But outside of that, I thought the defense played well. I thought they played really good. They held Saquon Barkley to 20. He had 25 carries. He had 57 yards, 2.3 yards a carry. I'm gonna repeat that. 25 carries, 57 yards, 2.3 yards a carry. If I told you ChiefsKingdom, if I said, look, I looked into somebody told you, hey, What's the name only going to have 57 yards and 2.3 yards of carries and no touchdowns? You would say, oh, we must have beat them. If I told you A.J. Brown, I think he only had 3 catches and 47 yards or 45 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith outside of that big catch that he caught in the third or fourth quarter, he caught that big long pass. Outside of that, he didn't do much either. This game was won off the 2 turnovers, the pick 6, and then the interception to Zach Bond. Those were the backbreakers, those turnovers, and we talked about that. That if the team that turns the football over will lose this game, and it showed. And the Chiefs did not have an answer for anything that the Eagles did. The Eagles looked like they wanted it more. The Chiefs, and I'm specifically talking about on offense. On offense, they act like they did not want it. I don't know what they were doing all week. I don't know what kind of game plan. You see your offensive line, Andy Reid. You see your offensive line getting their butts kicked. Why are you not running the football? Why are you not setting up some screens to negate that pass rush? Hell, why aren't you putting in DJ Humphreys or whoever you're gonna put in the left tackle and kick your best guard back into his natural position? Because you see him getting his butt kicked. Maybe if you put your natural all-pro guard back in his natural spot, maybe the line will look a little better. Hell, maybe it won't, but it can't get no worse. I just didn't understand the offensive game plan. It just seemed like they was like, we're going to ride with this or we're going to die with this. So this was a disappointing effort on the offensive side. Like I said, I'm not defense. I have nothing bad to say about y'all. Y'all did y'all job. But the name of it, you cannot come in there with half-ass effort. You can't come in there with a bad game plan. And you can't come in there, not willing to adjust your game plan when things look bad. And that is something that they're going to have to take in the offseason. Patrick Mahomes, he's going to have to sit with this. This ain't like the Tampa Bay loss. See, at least with the Tampa Bay loss, people were still oohing and awing about some of the throws that Mahomes had to make. He was running around and, look at that throw he threw to Tyreek Hill and the throw he took through to I think it was Damian Williams and
right, the face mask.
Yeah, it's like and some of the other throws, the throw he threw when he went to the sideline and spun around and threw it, and Pringle almost had his hands on it to catch a touchdown. Like they were oohing and ahhing still. This time, now you're getting questions about Patrick Mahomes, which is kind of absurd because one bad game shouldn't, define a player after he's had all-star, Hall of Fame career. But that's what's gonna be happening in the offseason. They're gonna try to diminish everything that Mahomes has accomplished. They're gonna try to pick holes in it. They're gonna show you some stupid numbers. I saw some numbers today where they was trying to compare the career numbers to Joe Burrow and
the first
Purdy.
The last like 3 seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
Showing his yardage. Mind you, numbers have context to them.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams have to throw and get those yards because their defense is not as good. Whereas in the past two,
was one of those until he broke his leg.
The past 2 seasons, Pat had to throw so much because our defenses were so good. We were holding teams to about 17, 18 points. I don't need to score 40 and 50 like I used to. So they're gonna hear all kinds of narratives on the dynasty is over, all that stuff. You're gonna hear it. You looked up and down the timeline. All 31 other teams was happy and jumping for joy that the Chiefs finally lost. It's over. It's over. But it's not over. You still got 15. You still got Andy Reid. I believe Brad Veach is going to make some moves. But they're going to have to sit with this. and they're gonna have to understand that you gotta come to play at all times. They didn't run none of the stuff. The stuff that they did in the first two playoff games, the Texans game and the Buffalo game, they did none of that. None of the RPO stuff, none of the short, intermediate route stuff, crossers, none of that. They were just like drop back and I'm gonna throw it deep. They played right into Vic Fangio's hands. And I did not understand that. As much as they've played Vic Fangio's defenses, you would think they would know what to do. And that's why I was so confident going into the game. We've seen his D. Now, he probably hadn't had as much talent that he had, on his team that he did in Denver, but still. We've seen these defenses even last year. We played him in Miami. He was the DC in Miami. So we knew how, they're going to play a lot of zone. They're going to play the too high shell, and they're going to make you matriculate the ball down the field. That plays right into the Chiefs' hands because that's what they do now. They dink and dunk down the field. They wear you down. And then they strike. That's the offense. So, like I said, this was a tough one. This was a tough one to watch. Shout out to the Eagles. They came to play, man, and they deserved this win, man. And shout out to Jalen Hurts for getting MVP, Super Bowl MVP. And I personally thought Josh Sweat probably should have got it, but that's just me. But hey, I get it. He's the quarterback, and he had a pretty clean game outside of that one interception. And he made some big throws when he needed to make them. Especially shutting down Saquon Barkley. And he had, his defense rewarded him with short fields. So, shout out to the Eagles. You got anything, Mike?
Pretty much hit it around the head. I think it's like we can talk about Mahomes. We can talk about the line. The game plan from the jump was just absolutely absurd. It looked like a team. I'm not sure if it was overthinking. I'm not sure if it was just they thought they were going to do the same things. Like as far as they basically became the team that they made every other team. They basically they folded quickly. Mm-hmm. And usually the team that folds and gets away from their game plan is a team that loses. They usually lose. And then you alluded to it as far as with the run game. And here's the numbers, though. When you only have 2 rush attempts on your first 20 plays, and we've seen that historically where they've actually had really bad games because it became one-dimensional. I don't care how good a defense is, you still have to keep them honest. And they did not plan for it at all. And that was just alludes to it. Seven runs by your running back is completely crazy. That's nuts. I'm not sure where the logic was. That's just poor game plan. That's just called for what it is. As you said, you alluded to it as far as with the offensive line, they weren't great at all. A lot of questions there. There's going to be some off-season things they talk about. You would think they would make adjustments. Never made adjustments. He basically got out coached by it's crazy though because everybody said that the Chiefs had the better coach. He did not coach like the better coach at all. That's just called for what it is. And then Pat, he had the throws and he was off. Even going into the some of the tape and everything. Shout out to Ron Copper bringing that up though. As far as they're showing up on X. But usually the shot plays that Mahomes takes, he was not taking them at all. And probably that's more so based on because the happy feet he didn't trust his line. That's just called it. And he had every reason. They weren't blitzing, they weren't doing anything special. They were just simply beating their man. That's all it was. You can't go and just when you put yourself in the 24-0 hole and it's just difficult, as far as the receivers and everything understands you down, but at the same time, you still got to keep your head in the game. And when you start to see all those drops and everything starting to happen, D-Hop with the uncharacteristic drops, it wasn't a matter of the moment being too big. I just think it's more so the focus. And then the last part, you already spoke to it, as far as the defense, the defense did what they needed to do. They contained Barkley. I think a lot of those plays and everything as far as with the passes, that was more so fatigue more than anything. It's not an excuse, just more so it is what it is. A.J. Brown, they had communicated, and Jalen Hurts, they dialed up the right plays, and They made it happen. Obviously, Smith, he made a big play. You know, that was more so the dagger right there when they had that. I think it was when they stopped him on that fourth down. They tried to do that quick out to DeAndre Hopkins. They took their shot and they nailed it. That was the difference. Jalen Hurts took his shots. Mahomes didn't do it. But the last thing you gotta throw out there, that time of possession was just absolutely filthy. 36 minutes by the Eagles on time of possession versus 23. And that 23 is inflated more so because, you know, it started to ease up and, you know, it started actually to go down the field in the fourth quarter. So really it should have been probably 40-20. That's just called for what it is. So worst time to play, worst game, worst time to play, you know, to dial up that kind of game plan, you know, worst time for everything. But, you know, you can't take credit away from the Eagles. They wanted it more. They game plan. They were ready. They heard the noise. They played like the team. They played like the best team in the NFL. And now they have the hardware to show forth that they are the best team in the NFL. Nothing more.
Yeah, I agree, man. And they're gonna have to do some soul searching for real. Andy Reid's gonna have to do some soul searching. Pat Mahomes is gonna have to do some soul searching. You know, sometimes, you know, you got to get your butt kicked to see some of your flaws. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely, you know, look, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but, you know, just to kind of preview it, they're going to have to look at some of these pieces on offense and some, you know what I'm saying, and get some more speed on this team. The running game, they're going to have to look into that. Because we need playmakers. We need a playmaker at running back. I love Isaiah Pacheco. He just wasn't right when he came back from that leg injury.
But even the 2 runs that they did run, well, not 2 runs, I'm sorry. The 7 runs that they did, 2 of them I absolutely hated with a passion. And the one where Pacheco got it, he's supposed to run up on that left side. It was just way too much misdirection. They were just too slow executing it. It just doesn't work with this team. Philly is too fast for that. I know we heard it's like as far as they were trying to make moves, as far as trying to get outside that offensive line, that defensive line is just too fast. And then the one where Hunt got was the one that Hunt got, Kelsey got in the way. I'm not sure if they were just too slow or what, but it just seemed like they did not plan to run.
No, they didn't. It was very one-sided, man. It was very one-sided. Actually, that's a good segue because I wanted to ask, do you think it's time for Kelsey to retire?
That's a tough one. It is. I mean, I said in the last show, one more year after that performance, I'm sitting there. I mean, and initially you thinking because of the way the game is going, you know, it's like I think it was like he might be retiring after, you know, seeing this and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, I think this, if he does come back, it's going to be his last year. I don't think there'll be any more than that. I think he'd be more so on the mentor side. I still think he still had a part, you know, as far as with the blocking, and when it came down to the end of it, stuff like that, you know. And I think part of that too, also, you know, when Wiley got hurt, you know, as far as the tight end, that kind of played effect. But then we also saw Noah Gray step up, you know, which is kind of crazy because he was crickets, and I thought Noah Gray was going to be somewhat incorporated in there, but that's more so because probably the pass rush. But man,
Hold that thought. What's going on, Mar? How you doing, man?
What up, though?
What's going on, man? Got a little bit of delay.
What up, though? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
It's a little delay, but
you got a little delay.
Oh man, it's because like ever since Sunday, everything been fucked up. Everything since Sunday, bro. Like, you know, life of a dynasty just got crazy, dog. Like, you know, internet start messing up. You know, kids start acting up. Job, it started acting up. Everything started acting up since Sunday, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell happened, bro. It must have been some bad voodoo. Man. Like, okay, I'm okay with us losing. All right, I'm okay with. I didn't get a chance to add another banner to my graphic in the background. That's cool. I'm not upset about it, all right? Hey, it's the way we went out. That was that. I think that's more shocking for the Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom right now is how it happened. Just to show up, just get offense just couldn't do nothing. Nothing. This was worse than Super Bowl 55, and I tell you why. Because in Super Bowl 55, we knew that we was gonna have an issue with the offensive line. Pat still had opportunities to make plays in the places that getting made on the other end. This time, it wasn't no time. It was absolutely zero time for Pat to do anything. He couldn't do not in there, none of nothing. All right. So this ass whooping was worse than Super Bowl 55 because Pat at least had situations where he could have made plays in 55 and they just didn't get made. This one, the Eagles defense saw that offense of the Chiefs and said, boy, we about to get in that ass, and did they ever. So yeah, this is kind of disappointing because this is now 2 Super Bowls that could have been in the pockets of the Chiefs, and Andy Reid has now failed to get his team ready, prepared for 2 weeks, knowing he had a disadvantage in the trenches. And this is now 2 Super Bowls where we talk about, Andy Reid being so great off the bye. Give him time. He'll come up with the great master plan. Now it's now 2 Super Bowls now. And he has gotten out coached by coaches that ain't even in their career won't even come close to doing what Andy has done. Bruce Arians outclassed him in Super Bowl 55. This one sucks worse is because Nick Sirianni, who I think is, I think he's a solid coach. I still think he's a pissant and is still a worthless piece of human. But yet you just got outcoached by this dude. This is what makes this Super Bowl this much worse is because obviously we could talk about the history between Philly and Andy. But the fact that I gotta now know that Nick Sirianni has a Super Bowl victory under his belt because you decided to not play anything to help this offensive line and you had 2 weeks to prepare. I just got a question, fellas. Just question. Let me know if I'm crazy as hell. What was the point of getting DJ Humphries, who's a former Pro Bowler? All right. I get he got hurt. All right. And that's what you're playing. I get that. You played him in week 18 when you rested the rest of the starters, right? Played him in week 18. He played against starters against Denver. How is it that he did not show enough? How did he not show enough between being a former Pro Bowler, had some time off, you played him in week 18? He could have. I'm not saying he was going to be the best tackle in the world. I'm not expecting that. But you went and got him and signed him to put him at left tackle. And what did you expect Joe Thuney to do, who is a premier left guard? A left tackle. We know this. Like, at one point in time, how did you not insert DJ Humphries in between week 18 against Denver? Some point in time between that time off between week 18, that divisional round. How did you not have him ready? You should have had him ready to go against Houston. He should have been in there against Houston. He should have been in there against Buffalo. take your lumps and bruises against those two teams and make it to the Super Bowl and have him ready. Joe Thuney at left guard would have been better suited in this situation against Philadelphia than having him at left tackle. I just don't understand it. Y'all let me know if I'm crazy as hell. Y'all let a brother know. This shit crazy.
No, it is crazy. I agree with you. I didn't understand it either, Mar. My stance is, if he wasn't ready, why is he dressed? Why is he in uniform? Why has he got pads on? He was just there for the look, for the ambiance, for the vibes.
Hey, Chris,
is we kicking it in New Orleans?
I'm trying to tell you, mark my words. Front office is about to piss us off, and here's why. It's because they are going to try high and low to get a left tackle, and they're going to come up empty because teams are not going to help us. They're tired of us. They're not going to help us, and guess who's going to be our left tackle next year? Ding, 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 DJ fucking Humphries. Mark my words. Watch us end up with DJ Humphries again next year, and then I'm going to look back at this, and well, hell, if you got stuck with him next year, why didn't you not play him in the postseason? Because you're going to end up stuck with him again because you pick too far back in the draft. You picking 32nd every year. All right. There's no premier left tackle at 32. There's not. If you don't get up to at least 15, you're not going to get them. You're not going to get them. You're not. There's not a left tackle sitting around in free agency that's going to help bring that name that's going to solidify his point to help protect Mahomes for the next 10 years. There's not a guy sitting out there in the free agency. All right. You missed on Trent Williams. All right. That was as good as we're going to get. You was going to try to get the last 5-6 years of Trent Williams. That ain't happening. All right. All right. So unless somebody's willing to just be stupid enough to just, roll off a young left tackle for you, it's not happening. So you're going to be stuck with very few limited options again. And here it is now, 5 Super Bowls and 5 different left tackles for Patrick Mahomes. But now you're looking at his record is 3-2 and not 5-0. It's because 2 of them. It's because you refuse to address the main thing, and that's protect the $1 billion investment. The man's contract's too huge not to protect him, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a reason why you're not looking at a 3-peat right now. It's because you refuse to take care of the important things around Patrick Mahomes when you had the chance to do it.
No, I agree with you. Now there are a few free agents, that are going to be coming out next season. Some of them are a little older. Cam Robinson, he's a little older. Ronnie Staley is a little older. I know there's one left tackle. His name's Alec Jackson. He's actually pretty solid. Those are a couple guys that you could possibly look at and bring into the fold next season. But they're definitely going to have to go into this season, and they're going to have to get and solidify a left tackle, whether it be in the free agency, trade, draft. They're going to have to figure it out. Bottom line, they're going to have to figure it out because
quickly, dog.
you can't have your franchise quarterback having a revolving door at left tackle. You just can't. And for us to be, be in our 3rd Super Bowl with that issue is quite remarkable, but still, it's not sustainable. And we saw that in this Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We saw this in the Super Bowl, and for Andy to be like, nah. Now, me and Mark just talked about it. Nate Taylor, he said it earlier on the radio. He said that they had Kingsley warming up, ready to go out there. They just didn't pull the trigger. Yeah, exactly. They didn't have DJ Humphries. They had Kingsley Suamataia warming up, ready to go out there.
Wait, the same dude that couldn't even practice how to hold properly? Him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We talking about the same dude that literally whiffed on trying to hold a dude. Literally whiffed. Like, hey, I need to hold him so my quarterback don't get hurt, and I totally missed him. Hey, Patrick, look Him?
Yep.
Come on, bro. Hey, look. You hit something on the head, Chris. It's remarkable to understand that the fact that they've been to 5 Super Bowls, dealing with this multitudes of just hurdles. It's remarkable. So all you non-Chiefs play people understand how remarkable this is, and mark it down. Like, this is something. If this is something you want to put in your tailpipe and hate on it, this will be it. All right, because these guys have done something remarkable. Granted, cool, but damn it, you can't look. I understand how great Patrick Mahomes is, but he can't get us out of every sticky situation on offense. He can't get us through every sticky situation on offense.
Mm-mm.
And you're talking about a moment that this is now 2 moments on the biggest stage that Patrick Mahomes has looked very human because he is put up in a situation that he can't get out of, that he's put in. He can't block for himself, damn it. This is 2 Super Bowls now that he has 0 blocking. 0. Hey, imagine the talk on this man's legacy had he had just a left tackle for both of those Super Bowls, dog.
Mm-hmm.
We're not having a conversation of GOAT. We're not having a conversation of anything. It would be him. Like, come on, bro.
I think what's crazy is, like, despite, they had to play with a makeshift line, in that first one, the running backs ran more times in that game than this one. That's the other thing that kind of has me thrown for a loop. How is it that Clyde actually had more carries? He had 9 carries in that game with a makeshift line. And for them to only have 6 or 7, whatever, 6, 7 is still lower. No dimension, no nothing. That's just absurd to me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The game planning, I don't get it. Yes, not addressing the tackle, but this whole one-dimensional football doesn't work. Not at the biggest stage. It's like, what's the record for least number of runs called in a football in a Super Bowl? That's what has me. This probably gotta be the fewest I ever seen by a team. I think Saquon had 25 by himself.
25 by himself. That's crazy.
Couldn't run the ball, but they sure did make it seem like they were going to attempt it. They weren't getting no success from running the football, but they still kept running it.
But even when they got that one driver, they got buried at the 10. I remember sending this in the group too. I said if they're smart, they should run the ball on the first down. What did they do? They got sacked. Then the next play, they call the run. They get 4 yards. I'd rather them have a situation where they call that on the first down. It could have been 2nd and 6 versus 3rd or 3rd and 6 in that case versus a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 11. But that's just bad play call. And speak of what's the point? What's the point of Nagy being there at this point? Now that I think about it, what is the point?
He calls the plays in.
Yeah. We know Reed calls the plays. That's the real one. I mean,
he calls the plays, but I'm saying Nagy's the one who talks to Patrick. He calls the plays in. He's the one to say, well, hey, man, Andy, he likes these plays and this play and this play. He don't really, bring nothing. Holder. Yeah, that's pretty much what he is. He's pretty much what he is.
But that is crazy.
But yeah, look, they're gonna have to figure some things out. You know what I'm saying, in the off season. We'll talk about it in a minute. But before you came in here, Mark, I had to ask Mark, should Travis Kelce retire?
I'll be honest. I don't think he has anything left to prove. I think if he came back next year, it's strictly just to rinse out the bad taste of the ending of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be strictly just for that. If he gets another Super Bowl, what does it add to his legacy? I think his legacy is cemented as one of the top 5 tight ends of all time. Has already been cemented. You can't. I don't think he can do anything to change that. That conversation is already set in stone, and he's up there wherever you decide to put him in the top 5. He's up there. So this, to me, I don't think there's nothing left for him to really prove. I guess just to show that he can win a Super Bowl and under a distracted lifestyle, because obviously with all the endorsements and all the other stuff that he's getting more busier and busier. So he has more distractions. I mean, that's it. That's the only thing I could really think of what he would do if he would to come back. Other than that,
the Rice records. I think those are that would be like the only thing. I think that would be the only that. But on the flip side of it, was it like 17 million they save if he retires?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, hey man, help us out, Trav. We love you. But I mean, that's real good.
Personally, I think if he comes back, they would chop that up. They would rip that up and give him a new contract. Personally, I think they would rip that up and give him a new contract because they're gonna need money.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna need money, so I don't think.
Yeah.
So, but as far as him retiring, I could see him coming back, like you said, Mar, because of how it all ended. I could see him coming back for one more season. I could see them drafting, because this is a good draft with tight ends in it. I could see them drafting his heir apparent in this and him being like the mentor to that guy to kind of like get him ready for the following season. So I could personally see him coming back one more season. I know he said he got a lot of football left in him and he played 2-3. No, I think he got one more in him. That's it.
Well, who knows? They might already have the guy. Just unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to see him.
You talking about Wiley? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
At this point, man, I'm like double up, double up, because there's some good tight ends in this draft, man. So you got to get one of these guys in here, and there's some playmakers in here. So, and I think they're a little bit more playmakers than Jared Wiley are. So, I wouldn't be surprised in those middle rounds they get one of those guys to come in here and hey, we passing the torch to you after this season. You're gonna learn, you're gonna sit behind Trav, you're gonna study, and you and Wiley are gonna be the two tight ends that we in Noah Gray. We're gonna future all three of y'all, and y'all gonna be up in here being, because it's gonna take three of y'all to make up for a prime Trav. So we're gonna bring y'all in here. So, because I mean, next year we all know when Rashee Rice comes back, he's the number one guy. We've seen the maturations of Xavier Worthy. He's going to be the number two guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only one in that, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's garbage time." I don't care. If you watch some of that first half and watch some of the clips that I saw, dude was getting open, wide open. Patrick just didn't look his way. So, they're going to be pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring Hollywood back because he knows the offense now. You know what I'm saying? You bring him back, let him play the full season, you know what I'm saying? And see what you got with those three guys. I know Rashee Rice is definitely going to be suspended probably 4 to 6 games. So we're probably gonna have to bring somebody else in.
They don't have to. They don't have a choice.
Now who? I don't know. Maybe they see what they can bring D-Hop back. I don't know if they bring somebody else in. Maybe they bring Juju back. I don't know. But they're definitely, as far as Travis goes, I can see him come back one more year for sure.
I don't see him spending that kind of money like that because it's not really in their language and stuff like that. Do you see a free agent tight end, if they were to go that route, who they would go after?
I don't know. You would have to look that up and see what tight ends are out there.
Even so, I'm looking at the list right now. They got Zach Ertz, who's a little bit old, and I think he should stay in Washington. That's just me. I'm cooking there.
I think he goes back to them.
I remember Jawan Johnson's basketball history. You got some nice size. I'm not sure about his production. Hooper, and that's more so history and everything. Gesicki is actually the name that kind of sticks out with me. He knows how to make. He can make some plays. Like his name will come up.
He had his best season last year with Burrow.
So he's available. Mo Ali Cox. He was one of the go-to guys for Indy. So that's potentially something there you could look at as well. But I think it just kind of come down to, as far as with the decision. Now, all the other names, I really don't see that happening. But, we got to wait on the decision, see what hopefully, you get that somewhere in the next upcoming weeks. Got to get that, as far, like Mar was talking about, what's there to come back to and everything. He's got a productive podcast, got a lot of endorsements, everything seems to be going well. He ain't doing no numbers, he ain't doing nothing crazy with Taylor Swift and all that stuff. As long as he ain't doing no let me not even bringing that up. But, he ain't doing. He got a great thing. He's set up nicely, as far as with him, for afterward, after the whole thing come down. So, we expect the best, we expect the worst. Either way, I'm okay with it. Kelsey comes back, like I said, hopefully, they restructure that concept, that contract, get some more money elsewhere because they got a lot of holes and stuff to fill. Obviously, we have our thoughts, which I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about later on the segment and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting free agency period, and the Chiefs draft well, so that's a big plus.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask y'all a question. Now, I've heard some of the talking heads talk, some of the people, everybody said that the 3P was essential to this conversation. But I want to ask y'all, after this Super Bowl, is the GOAT talk over, Mar?
Oh no. GOAT talk ain't over. It does take a massive hit. Here's why I think it takes a massive hit. We've never seen Tom Brady get his ass whooped in the Super Bowl like this. And now this is twice that Patrick has got mollywopped in the Super Bowl. So it does take a hit. It does take a slight hit. As much as I love my boy Patrick, unfortunately, he's like I said, there's been two of them. He's been kind of stuck in a bad little situation that he couldn't do nothing about in effect. Mahomes is the only guy that's going to get close to that name of being up there in the hemisphere with Montana and Brady. That's it. Conversation's still there. It don't change. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. All right. Ask Tom Brady. He's 10 of them. He ain't 10-0. So, it's still a team game. So you can't just put it all on Sam for not my fault on Mahomes for not coming through on every Super Bowl, but his name is still up there with the Brady's and the Montanas, and let's put it this way: Pat's not compete with no quarterback right now. As in we talking about GOAT talk in current NFL. Congrats, Jalen. You got your first Super Bowl, second appearance. You're still not doing the same thing that Mahomes is doing. There's no other quarterback that's still, sustainable success or nowhere close to the same amount that Mahomes has done. So, that conversation to me is still alive.
What you got, Mark?
Between the GOAT talk being over and Dynasty be over, let's just be honest with you. These are the same people that are basically tired of the Chiefs' success. These are the same people that would have been irritated, back in the day when the Bills kept winning and all that stuff, and San Francisco kept winning and Dallas kept winning, even when the Patriots kept winning. These are the same people that just wanted to be over. They just tired of this Chiefs team winning all this other stuff. People can say whatever they want to. It's not even close. We can talk about number for number, all this other stuff. We haven't seen the kind of success that Mahomes has had, like in his first. It's absurd. Like I said, like we talked about last week, the average end of his season is the Super Bowl, and that hasn't really been heard for a starter for like in his first 7-8 years. It's just not normal. He's very much still much in play. We can talk about, as far, because remember, we got to think about it from the other side as well. You know, Brady didn't have the kind of start that Mahomes had, and we can also argue on the other side that Tom Brady hasn't gotten blown out in Super Bowls like this. I can understand that side of it, but we haven't talked about the possibility of a drought. I mean, there's no signs of a drought coming soon for this Chiefs team at all. So, do we figure that in? I mean, we can pick and choose, you know, what we consider as far as like the GOAT talk being out and not being out, stuff like that. I mean, what does that look like? You know, everybody's gonna say it looks a little bit different. So, if Mahomes ends up going back to the Super Bowl and then ends up creating a dynasty going 3 out of 4, is the GOAT talk back on? What does that look like? I don't see the GOAT talk being over or being off for a while, unless he just completely falls off a cliff and then, you know, they have like a go back to 2012 and have like a 0-17 season then, but it ain't over.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's over. You know, I know people talk about Tom Brady not not being this bad in Super Bowls, but can we attest for him being bad in divisional rounds or AFC Championship games? Like that counts too, right? Like that's leading up to the Super Bowl. Like, and we haven't seen Pat do that. I mean, we seen him do it one time, and that was an AFC Championship game against the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you could argue that. You know what I'm saying? You know, Pat, you know, he's, you know, 7 years in, like Mark said, unless they go through a 10-year drought like the Patriots did, we got to count that. Tom went 10 years without winning the Super Bowl.
Sure did.
Like, what if Mahomes goes, let's say we go next year and then we miss and go another year. Like, let's say they go every other year. Now what? What if he gets another MVP under his belt? Let's say he comes back next year. He scores earth. He throws for another 5,000 yards.
Which is possible. Hey, because when them boys come back angry after losing something like this, that's scorched earth throwing 5,000 is definitely possible, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say they retool, you know, let's say, you know, we get Rasheed, we got Xavier, we bring Hollywood back, maybe another veteran or a rookie or whatever, whatnot. You got Travis and, you know, maybe some, you know, you got Noah and, you know, Jared Wiley and maybe another rookie that comes in and plays. And then, you know, get a dynamic running back, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But who's to say that he doesn't go off next year?
All it takes is just 1 or 2 key moves. And you know, we could learn that from Philadelphia. I mean, Philadelphia did nothing different than basically what the Chiefs had done. You know, they drafted well, they got the right pieces, and they showed out. And then adding Saquon was just the icing on the cake. And the thing about it was Saquon didn't have to put up the numbers he was putting on during the regular season, but he was enough of a decoy to where you had to be concerned about him. So, you know, that's all it takes. You know, with this Chiefs team is to have 1 or 2 key pieces. That's all it takes to take the pressure off Pat. And who knows? You said I had to turn it to y'all.
No, I think we all did. It got so frustrating. Like after Kendrick, I gave the Chiefs that first possession coming out of the half because they had the ball. I remember they deferred, and I was like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Show me something. This first drive coming out, them fools went 3 and out. I said, yep, I'm turning this shit off, bro. I said,
Mara had a hard time texting in the group. It's like, as far as like, I'm like, let me get this straight. This team down 24-0. They gotta have the best quarter, and the quarter had been awful in all year. It was just too much in third quarters.
They've been bad in third quarters. They've been horrible. They got to fix that next year for sure. But yeah, I don't think the GOAT's talk over. But no. But let's talk about this team going forward, man. Like, because we got some things. Robert V's got some things he's got to figure out, man. And he's got to figure out who he's going to bring back. I'm going to highlight 4 players right now, and I'm gonna give y'all some numbers. So Trey Smith is one of the big ones on that offensive line. We all know how everybody loves this interior: Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, and Tooney. Trey Smith, his market value for next year is 4 years, $78 million, which is 19.7 million on average. That's a lot of money for an offensive guard.
No. For his production, that's too much.
Yeah.
But can I hold $1? That's the question.
I personally, I'm letting Trey walk.
Yeah, I gotta let him walk, bro. I'm sorry.
Hunter Norzad, get ready, buddy. You start next year. Are you gonna at least be in competition to start? That's why we drafted you, sir. Because yeah.
I mean, the language for them has got to be has got to be younger. It's basically that's part of what the Chiefs do. They got to get younger and versatile. I just don't see it.
Yeah, and I love Trey Smith, but I can't pay you that type of money for it. His, I don't want to say inconsistent play, but there's times where I think he looks like an all-pro guard, and then there's times where I'm like, damn, he looks like a guy we drafted in the 6th round. Because he is a guy we drafted in the 6th round. Because at times he looks like that. So I
think he's a better pass blocker or run blocker than pass blocker.
Pass. Oh yeah, pass, which is not good for how the Chiefs operate, because knowing Andy, he's going to be more willing to, throw the ball than he is run it. So you're not playing to none of Trey Smith's strengths. So I mean, yeah, okay. Well, first of all, you don't run enough screens for Trey Smith's strength. Like, he's good in the screen game. You don't do enough. You didn't do enough of that this season. You didn't do enough running to placate to Trey Smith's strengths. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Like Trey Smith belongs in Baltimore. He belongs in Cleveland and Pittsburgh. He belongs with running teams that's going to run a damn football at least 60% of the time. He belongs in Philly. If we being quite honest, I mean,
or Baltimore,
Detroit. He belongs there, because he's a good run blocker as a guard. But the Chiefs don't run the ball enough for him.
He'll be a Chicago Bear next year.
Yeah, he'll be somewhere. Yeah. He just won't be a Chief. His price tag is going to cost too much. Like you said, Norzad, get ready, or whoever else that they go and draft the free agency. Yeah, I think Trey walks.
Okay, hold on. Now let's go. Nick Bolton. His market value is 4 years, $49 million, with $12.3 million a year average. Would you pay that for Nick Bolton?
I think he walks. I think he lets him walk.
Yeah,
that's one of the tough ones. But that's
would you do a scenario? Okay, let's say you let Nick walk, right? Would you do a scenario where next year you let Drew Tranquil wear the green dot? You bring back Willie Gay.
That was something else I was thinking about too. That's something to consider. And also, like, just way outside the box kind of thinking, you kind of start to get to think about some of these veterans that really want to get a title, who I think that could still make an impact. What would be the value of a Khalil Mack? Just kind of like throwing that out there just for giggles, because he has familiarity with.
I got another person who's going to be 1 year removed from his injury. Yeah, he's a free agent. Dre Greenlaw.
Come on to the winning side.
You put Greenlaw on this squad and he's healthy?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Mar.
I mean, I like it because you know how I feel about you bringing in that veteran experience too as well. That carries.
Greenlaw can cover.
Yes, he
can. It just sucks because, like, I just think the Chiefs are in.
But I love Nick Bolton, mind you. We're a podcast who support Nick Bolton. I love Nick Bolton. If they bring him back, I am not going to complain.
I do too.
I would understand why they wouldn't bring him back.
I mean, he made some great plays that we don't highlight enough.
Brian, I would rather do that with Trey. I think you can get more market value for Trey if you sign and trade him. If you tag him and trade him, I think, especially with Ryan Poles having a rapport with Brett Veach, you get on that phone. Hey, Ryan. We hold that third, second round.
Do a sign and trade, but you don't pull no Laker Mavericks bull crap, and then we get somebody.
Give us that 6th round pick.
Injury prone ass motherfucker bring in his shit.
Give me that 1st round pick, sir. For Trey Smith. That'd be crazy.
6th round 2026.
Well, I mean, just to be fair, for conversation's sake, I think we gotten the most out of Trey Smith than I think most people would have ever thought he would have got out of his career. He was already a medical issue coming into the draft. He was already, had question marks, especially just with medical in general. Like a lot of people thinking, like, bro, you shouldn't probably even be on the football field. But yeah, he is. So I think we maximized the potential out of Trey. I think this is as far as we're gonna get with Trey. I think we've already hit our ceiling. It's okay if he doesn't pan out to be an all-pro world Hall of Famer first ballot guard. He did enough to help us win a couple of championships. Move on, call it a day. He gets to get a nice little check from a non-contending team, and he gets to play football in NFL and live comfortable. He's made a solid career money-wise, so enjoy it. I think we both won in this situation. But
the Chiefs, 2 Super Bowl rings.
She's got to move on. This is the point. This is the part of the dynasty that people are not going to like. There's going to be some fan favorites that you're going to have to move off of because,
Justin Reed is gone.
Gone. Yeah. Justin Reed is gone.
And he actually didn't play
season, but it don't matter.
But yeah,
he also plays a position the Chiefs don't pay.
Nope.
There's a lot of things. A lot of things that the Chiefs are doing right now that if you pay attention, they don't pay a lot of your defensive people unless your name is Chris Jones and you have an impact like that. All right. We love Tyrann Mathieu. He ain't stay. They love Justin Reed. He ain't staying. Get it through your head, y'all. He ain't staying. If he stays, he took a huge discount. I'm trying to tell you now. And he did it out of love. And he must really love this city. He must really love this team to stay. Because there's going to be some people that's going to throw some money at some of these guys, knowing, first of all, let's be honest, folks. These GMs ain't stupid. They know who's free agencies on these Super Bowl contending teams each year. They know who's coming up or contract time. You don't think they looking at, hey, man, Justin Reed could possibly help us get over this hump back here on this secondary. He's a little bit older, but we ain't got to, hey, throw him a couple of extra million. We'll get him away from Kansas City, though. That's what a lot of these GMs are thinking. We'll get them away from Kansas City, though. Just that's all that matters. So you talking about whether people are on the fence or they love or hate Brett Veach. This is about to be the season where he's about to convert some people, whether they love him or hate him. This is about to be it. Because he's about to be on I wouldn't say hot seat, but he's going to be under the microscope, and a lot of fans in the kingdom are going to be looking at him like, bruh, yeah, we like winning. And we're used to this shit now. So what you gonna do to make sure we keep winning, bro? And this is it. This is the offseason that Brett Veach is gonna have to make his top dollar to make the fans on his side for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Then, of course, Charles Omenihu.
Keep him. You gotta bring him back. I'm sorry.
Bring him back. His market value is 4 years at $43 million, $11 million a year.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Charlie O coming back for me.
and
the defensive line did play better when he got in there.
Did they ever? Here's another one. I think you got to keep Wharton. I think you keep Wharton.
Yeah, you got to keep Wharton.
I do too. You don't have to pay. You ain't got to break the bank for Wharton.
No, but you don't overpay for him. You don't.
No, you don't.
If there's a team that's going to offer him 12, 13 a year, you let him have him. But if you could bring him around 7 or 8, maybe 6, 6 would be more friendly for the team. For about for a 3-year deal, I think
3 years, what 30, maybe 30 mil.
I've tried to keep him under 25, but that's just me being cheap. But
okay.
I'm thinking 27, somewhere around there.
That's what I was thinking. Like you try to keep him, bring him in around 3 years, 20, 27, $25 million type of contract. But I think you keep Wharton. I love what he brought this year.
No, he balled out. He balled out. He was great in the running game. He brought you a little bit of pass rush too. So
he was very balanced in his attack on whether it was run or pass. So I think you bring him back. You bring Charlie O back because I think like you said, he brought so much juice to that defensive line when he came back, and you saw it. It was like an instant. It was like he didn't even have to get the sacks, but he was there.
He's instrumental when Jones is out, you know.
Yeah, because he can beat the guy in front of him 1-on-1. He can just beat him. So, one player that I was talking about bringing back, Hollywood Brown. They got his market value now. This is just estimations, but they got him at 2 years, $15.9 million, $8 million on average.
Still bring him back. I actually want to see him in a full season. I really do.
I would actually like that contract. If you can get him on that contract, that's fine with me.
Especially,
you're not breaking the bank for him, and you, like you said, you get a full season of what he could do in this offense, and they'll get some plays ready for him and all that good stuff. So, yeah, I bring him back.
Yeah, you bring Hollywood back. I'm with that.
Now, one player that might be now, I think two players are going to get an extension. Might be three if Travis Kelce come back, but the two is Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney's getting an extension. We all know that.
Cap purposes, yeah,
he's coming.
He earned it.
They're bringing him back. That they're going to reward him, even though he played horrible in the Super Bowl. He still held it down to get to the Super Bowl. So they're going to
use their language. So
they're gonna reward him for that. Trent McDuffie. Do you extend Trent McDuffie now? So you ain't got to worry about it later because that price is going to go up.
Yeah.
What contracts are up next year? The year after?
I don't know. I know because Patrick Surtain got paid. I think Sauce is probably going to get paid.
Yep.
What's the other good? Derek Stingley definitely is getting paid. So
Houston, yeah.
So you might want to go ahead and pay that man now.
Do it now before it gets too crazy.
Because they got his market value at right now is like 3 years, $65 million, 21 a year, which you would sign up for that for Trent McDuffie. I would take that.
Rasheed Rice's contract is up in 26. That's when he's eligible. Watson is up. Pacheco, they gonna let him walk.
I think you get one more. Pacheco.
That's a tough one.
I'm bringing Trent back. I'm extending Trent. I'm doing it now. Next year it's gonna be like 5 years, 6 years, 125 million.
It's gonna get heftier the more and more you wait. So get it done.
Especially if he starts like trending towards getting more interceptions.
Like,
he had 2 this year. Yeah, 2 this year. If we get about 4 or 5 of them things, and he's a 2-time All-Pro. Oh yeah.
Which requires him catching the ball.
That stuff matters, man. Them agents are gonna use that. Hey, man, you're a 2-time All-Pro. Nobody care about pro. I mean, you could use Pro Bowl, but I'd rather use the All-Pro in my contract negotiation. So I'm just saying, pay him now. He's our best corner by far. You know what I'm saying? You have to bring him back. You got to, because the following year you got to worry about George. Because I don't think you got to pay George right now.
No.
And I think you still got the 5th-year option on George too. So, yeah, I think you got the 5th-year option on Trent too. But I'd pay Trent now. I extend him right now. So, but it's going to be interesting to see who they bring back, who they sign going forward. Like I said, I don't envy Brett Veach, like Mar said. He's going to be under a microscope because the position that he's going to be under a microscope for is left tackle. And how he reconstructs his offensive line. Now, he did it before, after the Tampa Bay game. That's when he brought in, even though we didn't like Orlando Brown and I feel like he wasn't that good, he tried. He went out and tried to get him a left tackle. He got Creed, in that same draft, he got Trey Smith. Then the following year, they got Jawan Taylor. Say what you want about Jawan Taylor, but he tried to put him on. He got Jawan Taylor. He's been trying to get it this year or the following year. He got Wanye. Then this year, he got Kingsley. So it's not like it's for a lack of trying.
Yeah, he been trying. It just ain't been hitting, bro.
I personally didn't like how they did Kingsley. He's still a young player.
Yeah.
They just pulled him because he got beat by the sack leader, Trey Hendrickson. What did you expect? It wasn't like he got beat by some bum. He got smoked by the sack leader, who's probably going to get paid this offseason by, the Bengals or somebody else. So,
yeah, big facts.
What you expect? Like, he's going to get beat. But how do you get better at left tackle? You got to take your lumps.
Yeah. Definitely going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
And it was just like they panicked. Oh, we got to put Wanye in there. We got to put Wanye in there. It's like, what y'all do all this competition for and let the man stay? And it wasn't really a competition in training camp.
Mm-mm.
It was like, yeah, we're having a competition between the two. Oh, Kings is out there. He's starting he getting all the first team reps.
All of them.
He was it was a competition coach. He's lying.
Lying like hell.
He's lying to us, Andy. Boy, Andy be lying sometimes. Like, what competition, man? You got the man getting all the first team snaps. So I knew he was starting on that last game when he didn't play. I said, oh, he not playing? Oh, dang. I'm all right to go.
And who knows? Maybe next year, it might sometimes off season could make a difference. So we'll see. It's gonna be optimistic.
Yeah, man. It's definitely gonna be optimistic. It's gonna be interesting because next year, man, teams are gonna get better on the AFC side, man. Especially in our division,
Especially the Raiders get the quarterback right.
Yeah, they get that right, then they're gonna be at least formidable. I ain't saying they're gonna be a playoff team. They're gonna be formidable. The Chargers are gonna get better with Jim over there. He's gonna probably add, another wide receiver over there, probably some defensive pieces over there. Denver's gonna get better.
Everybody in the division, though. I mean, this crazy though. The kind of coaches that are all of a sudden now in the AFC West. You got some legends.
Andy, you got Andy, you got Peyton, you got Harbaugh, and you got Pete Carroll. That's crazy.
You got 4 Hall of Fame coaches, arguably, in one division.
Yeah.
But yet we got a whole bunch of young scrubs and bums and other ones. And speaking of coaches, shout out to boy over at can't even think of his name. But he took that job in New Orleans, though. Shout out to him.
Kellen Moore.
Shout out to Kellen Moore, though.
Yeah, we're gonna see what he can do. We're gonna see what he do over there. It's gonna be interesting to see who they keep. Are they gonna keep Derek Carr? Are they gonna roll with Spencer Rattler? Are they gonna draft a quarterback? Are they gonna go with a veteran? Like, they got to figure out some things over there. And they're in the red over there. They're like 51 million in the red.
It's so red as burgundy.
Yeah, man, it's bad over there. It's gonna be a couple of seasons before they get that thing right. But they're gonna have to stick with him. They got to stick with Kellen Moore, unless it's just like bad and the team just ain't listening to him or whatnot. But they got to stick with Kellen Moore. They got to give him a couple of years to fix that thing. You can't just. I don't understand some of these. You thought y'all was gonna go to the Super Bowl next year or something? Like, you got to understand. He's got to build this thing from the ground up. He's got to get his type of players in there. That takes a couple of years, man. To get the type of scheme and the players that he want, and to fit his scheme and to fit the culture that he's trying to build. Like, and they got some older guys over there. They got some older players. Now they got some young talent, but they got to figure them out. Like Chris Olave, I know he has the concussion problem. Hopefully he can get over that, but he's a young talent. Rashid Shaheed, good talent. Alvin Kamara's getting a little long in the tooth, but he's still really, really productive.
I'll still take him as a rental, though.
I take him. Let me ask you something, Mark. You take Nick Chubb next year?
Yes. Not even a question. I know he can run a straight line He can read the field, make smooth cuts. I ain't got to worry him causing harm to the ground more than actually being productive down the field. I can trust him being a north and south runner. I mean,
if we get Nick Chubb to be the Nick Chubb, anything close to the Nick Chubb that he was before the injury,
I'll take an 80% Nick Chubb.
That's what I'm saying. I would too, Mark. I'd take 80% Nick Chubbs right now.
If we can take a Kareem Hunt, and this is no slight on Kareem Hunt, because Kareem Hunt did a good job filling in. I will say that. It wasn't the end result for him, but at least he got to the Super Bowl. So, that's one thing I can say for the talent that he had. But if they had Nick Chubb, I ain't complaining by any means. Give me a Nick Chubb, whatever number he gonna be, I'm with it.
And I still would draft a young guy though. I still want to draft somebody, even if it's like in the 5th or 6th round. Get a Devin Neal or one of those guys. Hell, I'll take Cam Scatterboo right now. You know what I'm saying? At least Scatterboo run forward.
Honestly, I would not rule that out as a possibility. I see that in the Chiefs jersey. I honestly do. I would. I would see that.
I'll take a Scatterboo right now. I don't care. I just want somebody young who knows how to cut and go. Go forward, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't run into your offensive lineman either. Just go. Renard got good vision and can go.
He didn't have a problem with that with State. And the crazy part about it with Scatterboo, though, was like I saw hints of that last year, though. I'm not sure how well this Arizona State team, gonna do as a whole. I didn't see them going as far as they did, but that dude is he's special.
No, he's really good. He showed that in the playoffs, because I thought they was going to totally shut him down, and he came alive and did his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely running back is something that we're going to have to look into, because this team is at its best when it's balanced.
Yep, I think that's what. Historically, we missed that though, because we never talk about it. I think I don't get sucked into it though, but historically, we've always had a good running back that has clicked at the right time. You can go back to even when they first got that first one, or even when they went that almost got the back-to-back the first time. Damian Williams was that piece, and nobody really talks about it. I personally had him as an MVP when they played the 49ers the first time. I mean, I understand why they gave it to Pat, but really he had been that guy that started clicking that throughout that whole postseason, in that 2020 and 21 run. It's just and then when they got their back-to-backs, when McKinnon was actually very instrumental, and that was a piece that I said, man, that's a tough piece to replace, because that's when the receivers couldn't get it going, but then the running backs, how we started to see the swing pass and all these different things implemented, and that was something that was missing this year. As far as the running back play, it just wasn't there.
Even in the Tyreek Hill, when Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins and Travis was all there in their primes, when Kareem Hunt was Kareem Hunt, that's when that offense was rolling.
Mm-hmm. They know where to stop. It was like, pick your poison, which one you want.
We got one of the best running backs in the league at the time. He was one of the best in the league at the time. You got the best tight end. You got the fastest receiver, and you got a guy in Sammy Watkins who could do a little bit of everything. He's got speed. He can get open. He can run good routes, and he was tough to tackle across the middle. He just couldn't stay healthy, but you know what I'm saying? Other than that, we had a complete attack, and that's what they need to do this offseason. That's what they need to do to get back into this. Is get back to getting a running back who can threaten the defense. You got to worry about this guy. I love Pacheco, but I've never really felt like teams felt like, oh, we got a game plan against Pacheco. If he gets his, he gets his. You know what I'm saying? No, if you get a Nick Chubb and he's 80% Nick Chubbs and he can do what he do, that's going to make that offense better. Play action pass. That's what makes this offense click. Now you can get those deep shots that you want to take.
Because then they're trying to load the box and they would open things up, but it just didn't happen. They weren't worried. Nobody was worried about it.
Teams are like, we playing too high shell because we want to see how patient they are to go downfield. And the Chiefs have kind of reverted to a dink and dunk type squad because they had to. But I think it's kind of affected Patrick in his deep shots. Hell, in this offseason, what I want him to do is get with Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown if he come back, and Rasheed Rice, and just work on throwing the ball down the field, bro.
Yeah.
Get some corners, some guys that can play corner. I don't know if you got to go get Trent or whatever. Y'all go in the park and go wherever y'all work out at and just throw the deep ball, man.
They definitely have to address their running back position though. Like, I mean, they got a lot of spots they gotta pick and choose, but that's definitely gotta be a priority.
Yeah,
give me somebody that where they fear. I mean, it's like even looking at the list, and I think you kind of alluded to it yesterday and stuff like that. You know, sort of with Aaron Jones, and I like James Conner because James Conner is a very aggressive running style. He has a very aggressive running style, and then also in the red zone, I do like Conner in that position. Najee Harris, I don't know. I mean,
I told Maul yesterday.
I thought he was going to be more effective in Pittsburgh than what he is. JK,
he has some. I'll take Jalen Watson over him or Jalen Warren. I mean,
I just don't know. I just know Dobbins can stay healthy, although he was doing well.
I wish, hey man, if he could stay healthy, I would definitely take J.K. Dobbins because out of all of them, he's the youngest one. But it's the injury history, man. He even got hurt last year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He would have been my comeback player of the year had he had played the rest of the games because he was balling. But and if we had that type of production, if we had a running back like him on the squad, the offense would look totally better.
Yep.
Like we got to remember when Pacheco was healthy before he got hurt in the Cincy game, he was having that offense roll when he was actually, healthy. Because I think it was added on to he wasn't fully healthy and the deficiencies of Pacheco.
Yep.
That hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like next year, I expect him to get back to being the Pacheco that we all love to see. You know what I'm saying? Even with his deficiencies, when he gets it going, he gets it going. He's closed that because he's closed out games for us. So
and 20 being outside the position too, that kind of contributes as well. So you'd want to be able to get Tooney back to his natural position. I mean, you just need to get somebody back there. I mean, the running back position, there has to be a point of emphasis there because it cannot be doing like the Super Bowl. That should be the highlight itself. 6 runs between your running backs is just not going to get it done.
And there's some guys in this is a loaded draft for running backs too, man.
Yep,
about 7 or 8 guys. I'd be happy. About 7 or 8 guys, I'll be happy. Bring them to Kansas City, please. Any one of those Ohio State running backs, sure. The Oregon running back, sure. Tennessee, sure. Devin Neal, sure. I don't care. You got to double up. Look, if you got to double up, get one in the 7th round. I don't care.
Figure it out.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm all for them getting. They need playmakers, man. That's the emphasis of next year. Playmakers, and they need to get a real free safety.
Yeah,
I think we got a bunch of box safeties. Brian Cook he's okay, and it was very good to him getting that pick, but he didn't have a good season this year. He was getting cooked a lot. There was a lot of times when dudes was running right past him. We need to get a free safety. I don't know if it's got to be in the draft or if it's got to be, the Holland kid from Miami. We need a free safety. We need a true center field free safety.
Who's available out there? I'm looking now.
That's what I said. The Javon Holland kid is the only one I know that's really good. That's the kid from Miami.
Yeah, that's the number one.
That's it.
Didn't they just pay Buda Baker? I don't know why he on the list.
Yeah, they paid him.
Get Simmons off of Falcons that way. Pat can stop throwing to him. Jeez.
Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he should be.
Oh, I'd take Justin Simmons in a heartbeat. Hell yeah.
Get him. I'm sorry, my bad. This is what happens. You have children that make a whole bunch of noise.
Oh, good, brother. Been there before. But yeah, give me Justin Simmons.
That way you can stop throwing that. We can subtract 2-3 interceptions off of Pat Mahomes' resume.
But
because here's the thing, the rest of it, like you said, Holland, Ufunga is available.
Ufunga's more in the box though.
Cisco Cisco be laying out people. That dude becoming perfect and low key. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, but he's more of a box safety. I think we got him and Jaden Hicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like I said, we got a bunch of safeties that can hit. Like that's not a problem. We need a guy who can cover deep field.
Yeah, Simmons the only one that I see.
Simmons and Holland are the only ones that can cover downfield. So, and then or get one in the draft. I don't know. I don't know the free safeties in the draft, but we need a deep field safety that can cover ground because that would help the secondary. That would help the secondary a lot.
Somebody that'll fit that Spags. I mean, the front, as far as who they have up front, they'll be fine, So you can
another corner would be nice too.
Yeah.
We need another corner. Somebody on the other end of Trent McDuffie. I love Jalen Watson, but we need another guy. We need another guy.
I mean, the biggest weakness that they had realistically on the defensive side of the ball was covering tight ends. That was probably the biggest. I mean, considering they actually did a pretty decent job in the Super Bowl, I'll say that.
That's why we let go of Nick, which I'm not advocating for, but if we do let go of Nick and we make Drew Tranquil the green dot, and we bring in a Greenlaw with Leo Chenal.
I want to see what Chenal was quiet. I mean, outside him, on special teams. Outside of that, I just want to see.
Well, I think because he's kind of a liability in coverage too, and he's better at against the run. But a lot of teams didn't. Once they started passing the football, it was kind of like there was no use for. Like I won't say it's no use for him, but his marketability is that he can play at the defensive line. He can play. You know what I'm saying? He's good at dissecting runs, but he's not so much of the even though he's a pure athlete, he's not the Willie Gay athlete where Willie could cover, for the most part. He could sideline to sideline,
which is an option for next year.
That too.
Just throwing it out.
I would sign me up for bringing back Willie Gay. Sign me up for bringing back Willie Gay. When Willie is on, Willie is on. You just gotta calm him down and temper him down a little bit because he get a little bit too hyped.
Bring him and bring Kamara with
him. Bring Colin Saunders back. If we gonna get Charlie O back, I'll bring Colin Saunders back.
Colin Saunders, the one guy who I expected the least throw an interception to. The least. I'm like, really?
I'm gonna run it back too.
Sure did.
Dude's an athlete. That's why. He was an athlete on them backflips he was doing when he got drafted. I was like,
he was holding that ball on the run back like a running back. I'm like, this dude got running back experience.
He did that. He was in Pop Warner,
right?
Running over people and stuff. But
he went from minivan to a U-Haul though. A good U-Haul that's running people over. Doing what he need to do.
That's funny. All right, man. Well, we are here, Chiefs Kingdom. Off season is here. Hold your heads up high.
Yep.
We didn't get the job done, but look, we still got Patrick Mahomes. We still got Andy Reid. We still got the foundation. We'll see what happens with Travis, you know what I'm saying, if he retires or if he doesn't retire. But we still got a foundation. We still got Chris Jones. That defense still ain't going nowhere. Spags is still here. So we'll be fine. We will be fine. I trust Brett Veach is going to get the right players in the building. And next year we will be ready to right the wrong.
And as a side note, let's stop the Myles Garrett talk. That ain't
happening.
It ain't happening.
He probably gonna end up. Howie Roseman probably gonna find a way to get him on the damn Eagles because he gets every defensive end in the line.
Right. If they get him, fine. Detroit get him, good for them.
That's like I said, go get him is Detroit.
I just want they're gonna trade Garrett away, send him to anywhere in the NFC. I don't care.
Yeah. Send him over there. Send him over there. Don't put him on the AFC side.
Don't do it. I mean, the Browns are more like, they're known for stupid trades, so I guess you could say they are the Mavericks in the NFL, but
they're gonna trade him to Baltimore for a 3rd round pick.
Trading for that would be stupid.
I hope they trade him to Baltimore for Rashad Bateman so he can be in purgatory at Cleveland for the rest of his life. I bet you had some respect there, huh, boy? No.
Yeah, I seen that. Welcome to Cleveland. Your careers go to death.
Rashad Bateman, who? Have fun when they bring back Jameis Winston throwing you the football.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if Jameis Winston was a Chief as a backup?
he was asking Andy Reid, I want to.
That would be the funniest thing. But you know what?
He would keep things light though. He would keep things light.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I might get a Winston jersey if he did. I might.
Him in the room with Patrick Mahomes. Hey, Patty. Giving sermons.
It would be amusing, but I would entertain it.
Yeah, man. That would be funny. That would be fun. But that might be the dude that you need to have on your team because you need some guys that can hype you up. And I think James Winston would be that guy.
I always believe that though, no matter what sports team, NBA, NFL, you need an enforcer and you need that guy, that just
keeps everything.
Jameis is that guy.
Keeps you loose, keeps everything, breaks the ice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody all serious and all that. Nah, man. We are having fun. We playing a kids game.
Right.
That's why I want to bring Willie back. That's one thing we was missing was that hypeness. He brought that hypeness. You know what I'm saying? We need to. This team ain't look like they've been having fun these past 2 seasons.
Yeah, because even so, the Chiefs are going to be looking for a new quarterback. Well, a new backup quarterback anyway. Wentz ain't staying. He gonna think so? I don't think so.
Oh no, they didn't do him no favors in that last game.
I mean, ain't doing no favors at all. Yeah, they did nothing.
They ain't doing that man no favors. So I don't know. Teams probably be like, I don't know.
I mean, that ain't no fair evaluation at all.
It isn't, but still, it's just like, I think they did that on purpose.
But even so, I mean, you were seeing some of these quarterbacks that were getting benched and stuff like that, and some of them actually got better. Like even with Carolina, like they benched Young, but he got better. He looked like a much better quarterback. They looked good, going into the off season.
They did. They did.
And even so, I mean, you look at some of these other teams. Like at this point, you almost have to day near put Tua as a liability down in Miami because you don't know if he's going to be healthy or not. You just don't know. His concussion status and Kyler Murray, depending on what you want to show up.
Yeah, man. I don't know. The first 5-6 games, he looked like he was gonna be all right. Now Arizona was gonna be rolling. They came back from that bye week and they were horrible. They were bad, and he was part of the reason. Like he was throwing some bad picks. I was like, "What are you doing, Kyler? You better than this,
the elimination game, this dude threw a flat out dart to the other team. I'm like, what in the world was that?
That's what I was like. What are you doing, man?
It was like he was concentrating so hard to throw the game because there was nothing there at all. I'm like, you could do it 50 yards into the stands if nothing was, and he could have ran it too. That was the funny part. But he did nothing with it. But all these quarterbacks and stuff like that. I mean, there's gonna be some movement. You still got questions what the Raiders gonna do. I mean, you always hear the different rumors, Stafford and whatnot. So I expect some shaking around, as far as up there in Minnesota. I expect some movement, even the next couple of weeks or so. Maybe not in the next 2 weeks, and then Aaron Rodgers, God knows where he's going. Hopefully the couch. I think actually, I think it's more so I'm just tired. I just think, I don't like seeing quarterbacks go beyond.
No, I hear you.
Any kind of player. And even so, just looking at, what's in the future and what's in the league right now, I just don't see.
The problem with Aaron Rodgers is this. He needs to shut up and just play football, man. And he needs to go to a team where the head coach is the alpha male.
You go to training camp.
That too. But he needs to go to a team that's going to make him accountable for all of this stuff. His best bet, if they don't want to pay this guy, is to go to San Francisco.
You know, I could see something stupid like Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders. I could see that.
I could see that too. And look, Pete Carroll. My problem with Pete Carroll is that even though he's a Hall of Fame coach, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna really listen to Pete. Like Kyle, whereas in Kyle Shanahan gonna get at him like, "Hey, bro,"
and it's not Chip Kelly style. Ain't no way.
Yeah, Chip ain't gonna be dealing with that, man. You got time for all that. Maybe he go down to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, because Tomlin will be getting him, put him in a headlock.
That might be the situation too, because now that I think about it, and I kind of make this analogy with Brady and how it was with Belichick. I'm starting like Belichick was more the defensive guru, and Brady, because of the experience and everything, he was just that dude. And when he went down to Tampa, he just changed the culture because that's just what he does. He just wins. He just don't got to run off. That might be the situation in Pittsburgh. Maybe Rodgers go down, although it would be really weird. I mean, that might be the situation.
It'd be weird to see him in the Steelers jersey.
I mean, it's weird, period. But
but I'm just saying that's the team he would have to go to. Now, I don't know if he wants to go to another cold weather team. That's why I said San Francisco or something like that. Somewhere warm or a dome. Yeah, because he ain't got the arm strength like he used to where he could throw in that cold weather.
Now, if he pulls some BS and go to Minnesota and pull a Brett Favre special, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with him. I'm done.
That'd be interesting, him and Kevin O'Connell. I don't want him to go to no young coach, because them young coaches, unless it's Sean McVay, who's like, look, bro, shut up. Or Kyle Shanahan, one of those guys, like he couldn't go to the Saints because he'll cuss out Kellen Moore every day.
No.
He would be running his own plays and stuff. Like, you got to go to somebody who's going to put their foot down and be like, no. You gonna run this and this. I don't want to hit nothing. You gonna bring your butt to practice. You ain't getting no special privileges. None of that. I don't care who you are. You ain't won a Super Bowl in how many years, bro? I don't care.
Smart TVs weren't even out.
Exactly. So I don't want to hear it.
CDs are still popular.
Yes, you are a first ballot Hall of Famer. You will get a gold jacket one day. And we acknowledge that. But, brother, you in 2025.
Speak of gold jackets, shout out to Jared Allen, too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, they put that Minnesota crap up there, but, hey.
Kansas City legend. No, I'm just playing. All right, man. Let's go ahead and land this thing, man.
Heads up, chin up. We'll be back.
Yes, sir. All right, if you look down at the bottom, you see the link, emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you go to that link, you see the locker room access of all the podcasts under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. They have a Bears one, they have a Patriots one, they have a 49ers one, and they have ours, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Go ahead, click on the banner. See all of our episodes from the recent to the past one. Also, you can click subscribe to their channel because they talk about everything NFL league-wide. They talk about college football, and they give you betting tips for the week. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to those brothers over there.
Chiefs in the futures. Plus 700.
Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is available. Also, if you're the first time watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Tuesdays, around the 6:30, 7 o'clock range, jump in the live with us. You can listen to these chief topics with us. We're gonna get y'all through the off season, get y'all ready for free agency in March, get you ready for the draft, so we can see who the new Chiefs are going to be and how we're gonna look in the 2025-2026 season, and hopefully we'll have better results. We'll have better results and win another Super Bowl. So, yeah, man, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether you use X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, you can follow us at right above the mark. You see the AH Chief Podcast. Go ahead and follow us on that. We will follow you back. We're not Hollywood. Joe's not here, but we
Chin
are
up, Joe.
We're Hollywood. But no, go ahead and follow us. We will follow you back. If you have critiques, you have feedback, or if you have a question or topic, Chiefs related or NFL related, and we like said question or topic, we will bring it up on the show. We'll shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, email, or our mentions. And if we like it, we'll hit you back. All right, good people. Like we said before, keep your heads high. Don't let none of these haters get at you. You know, if they're not Eagles fans, if they're some other fan base, they have no rights to talk to you.
This ain't 2012, y'all. 2012. We survived worse.
And by the way, Charlie Gardner-Johnson, that was nasty work, bro.
Yeah, that was
nasty work, man. You just won the Super Bowl. Go celebrate, bro. For real. You will never amount to a Travis Kelce. This is Hollywood. You're solid safety, but you will never amount to a Travis Kelce. So let's cut this out. And Kayla, we'll leave that alone. But all right, Chiefs Kingdom. Until next week, we out.
We out.